Welcome back to San Diego Living. Well, my son just finished his freshman year in college at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. I got to tell you, great school. He had a great freshman year, and I'm wondering how in the world am I going to pay for 3 more? And then I've got a daughter that will be going off to college in a year or 2. So I'm sure I'm not alone. Most of you out there are probably in the exact same boat. So let's see if we can all get some questions answered and lower the cost of college. All right, joining us, Michele Larson and Kelly Shaw from College Planning Centers of America. Just the title alone, College Planning Centers of America. The planning alone for college is, it's a full-time job, isn't it?
It is, it is. That's why, and some people wait until their children are juniors or seniors, and then all of a sudden you're inundated with all of this information, and how are we going to manage it, let alone how are we going to pay for it.
But we were really, really fortunate in that the school that my son went to and my daughter's at now, they have a college counselor at La Jolla Country Day here.
Okay.
In fact, they have several of them that are full-time people just dedicated to helping these kids get started in the right direction, get the right classes, and to start looking for scholarships. Most folks probably don't have that resource available to them, so I consider myself very blessed.
Well, you're right, Mark. In fact, in California, the average student counselor today in the public schools has a student about $850 per counselor. So it's
Wow.
the average counselor can't spend 15 minutes in the course of a year sitting down with these kids to actually go through that and or spend time with the family to figure out what's the right school, how are we going to finance this, how are we going to pay for this, you know, what are our options. It's almost non-existent.
Let's just talk about the sheer numbers so that folks know that we aren't just making this problem up.
Right.
I mean, the cost of tuition is skyrocketing now, and as a percentage of a family's income, it's out of control.
Well, for instance, there was a great article yesterday in the AP about the cost of college going up over the next 18 years. The average school is going to be somewhere between $50,000 and $130,000 a year. Not only is it going to break the average nest egg for the average person getting ready to retire, it even said in the article that the average student is going to be close to bankruptcy before they ever get a job. Now, state schools are going up an average of about 8% nationally per year, 3 times cost of inflation. Private schools are going up at around 4% per year. So it's really it's going to be a big nut to crack.
And even if you have a pretty nice paycheck, which, you know, again, I feel blessed that I feel like I make pretty decent money. The economy's been bad. I really haven't seen a raise in years and years and years.
Right.
And I know a lot of other folks, they're not in that situation. It's worse. You know,
Yeah.
They're finding themselves cut back and in some cases being out of work. So now, that's all the bad news, folks. Let's get that out of the way.
Right.
I hope
Let's
we have
get to the good news.
Yeah, let's get to the good stuff, okay? Because that's where you guys come in at College Planning Centers of America.
That's right.
You can take a huge amount of this stress and strain off of folks. How do you do it?
Well, the number one thing we do is we encourage people, as we talked about, you've got to fill out the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. So many people, I think according to the Department of Education, 2.3 million people that could have qualified for aid never filled out the FAFSA. And the other thing is that you've got to fill it out correctly. Over 70% of FAFSAs are filled out incorrectly. And I've got to tell you, the government's not going to come back to you and say,
No,
oh, this doesn't make sense here.
No.
They're just going to...
Let's talk about some of the common mistakes
Sure,
that folks
sure.
make just on that form, because again, I've made them, so
Right.
I know. But fortunately, I had people help me and point out some of the mistakes. But I'll bet you could still find some stuff in there. Folks don't understand what the value of their home means in terms of how much aid they might be eligible for. And here in Southern California, with real estate just being a mess right now, it's critical to know what to fill that box in with.
That's
Right. And we found a client recently. Michele had a client fill out their FAFSA, submitted it, and they were told that their EFC, expected family contribution, was going to be way over $50,000. A crazy number.
Hey, yeah, I mean, you'd have to be a multimillionaire to think that you could afford $50,000 a year just to write a check and send your kids to
We reviewed
college.
the form, and they just mischaracterized a few assets. We got the EFC down to around $20,000, which is still a huge amount of money to pay.
But it's not $50,000.
But it's not $50,000.
Now it starts to look manageable.
And it's very important to not only fill that FAFSA form out. People don't understand. The stroke of midnight, 12:01 on January 1st, we recommend to our clients you submit that form immediately. It is imperative that you not only submit the form, but that you do it early in January instead of waiting, because that money does run out. In schools, when they're done giving out money, they're done giving out money.
Okay, so I want folks to start thinking about this right now, going forward. How soon is soon enough to start planning? If my child's a sophomore, a junior, freshman, I mean.
Well, I would say perfect is, in all reality, we do presentations for middle schools, actually.
Wow.
We recommend starting that early, but it's imperative that you start the summer between your sophomore and your junior year. If you haven't done it by then, now's the time you really have to start.
And now you really need some catch-up here.
Yeah.
And you
That's
really
right.
need, the College Planning Centers of America to come in and really get you on track and get you caught up. It's a task. I mean, and it's hours and hours and hours of labor-intensive things that you don't understand.
Right.
So, again, I'm all excited here because I can't wait to come in and talk to you guys. Now, we've got some things that we can offer folks here today.
Right.
Sure, sure.
Well, first off, I mean, if you go to our website, which is www.collegeplanningscentersofamerica.com, we actually have just a starter kit, which is this kit right here that you can actually purchase. I think normally it's like $150, but it comes with a complete workbook where you can actually fill everything out. We walk you through it. And a friend of mine, Scott Moffat, a dear friend of ours, has a book. In fact, we're going to be on TV here pretty soon, I think the 22nd, with a half-hour show talking
Beautiful.
specifically about college planning. But this book, College in Retirement, for the first 25 people that either go on our website and register or call our office at 951-676-6301, we'll send this book out free of charge.
Absolutely free of charge. For the
Absolutely free of charge.
First 20 people.
First 25 people.
25 people.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Kelly, Michelle, thank you so much. College Planning Centers of America, a huge resource to you folks. And again, you're probably not getting all the things that you're entitled to, probably paying way more than you have to, but you're never going to know that unless you get the experts on your side to help you out with it.
Very true.
Thank you
Very
again
true.
so much. I appreciate it. And again, I'm going to be studying all this myself, and hopefully it'll be a little smoother the next time around with the next child.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, fingers crossed. All right, for more information, as always, you go to san-diego6.com. You click on San Diego Living. It's College Planning Centers of America. Get in touch with Kelly and Michelle.